Hey everybody, it's Truth Will Rise. We are back with a video, and I know I may be late to the party on this one. Had some family issues I was dealing with, and so I didn't make any video. But I want to talk about this Paula Deen thing, and then it's going to lead into the other point I want to make on this video. And if it gets long, then I'll separate it into multiple parts. But as everyone knows, Paula Deen apparently has been a veteran practitioner of the N-word and came out in a lawsuit. You know, she just dropping N-bombs like rappers. And, of course, she's losing sponsorship dollars and television shows left and right. And there are some people out there, and let me say this. From what people are saying, me hating that word, no matter who uses it, I understand where they're coming from. And they're saying, basically, you know, basically what they're saying is if Paula Deen was black or whatever, or, you know, all these other people, and of course rappers are always used, but whatever, are using the word, nothing wrong with it, then why is it? And I hate the word in all its incarnations, however you want to dress it up. And to an extent, I understand, because I don't buy this. I think it's garbage. I think it's a cop-out when people say, oh, well, we took it and we turned it into a term of endearment. And my thing is this is why I am kind of getting disgusted with a lot of people in our community. And we're the only people that do this. We always try to rationalize or, you know, take garbage rather than dispensing of it and checking anybody who wants to perpetuate it. We try to rationalize it or turn it into a term of endearment. And look, like I said on the last video, black, white, green, purple, you call me the N-word, we got a problem. I don't play that. I'm still from that school. I don't play it. And like I said on a previous video, my grandparents and great aunts and forebears, they didn't have water cannons and dogs and had to sleep in cars and couldn't eat at lunch counters. So your stupid behinds, and I don't care who doesn't like it, but the 8 people who will watch this, please share it with someone. I hope it will help them. You know, for your dumb behinds to get out here and just use the word and talk about, we've turned it into a term of endearment. You don't see any other group out there that has this type of retarded, demented type of thinking. And because that's one of the reasons we are where we are today as a community, as black folks. Because we love to just take crap. We always gravitate to the lowest common denominator. That's why we'll watch a show like, somebody mentioned it, the Hip Hop and Love show. I watched 5 minutes of that the other day, and I was totally disgusted. Why anybody would want to watch that is beyond me. That is, it's Negroes behaving badly, but we think it's the greatest thing ever. We have to have way higher standards than this garbage, and to sit there and to think that the N-word is somehow, that we've put some sort of spin on it, it's totally retarded, okay? If we did like other communities, when you say something out of line or out of pocket, they check it immediately, okay? But not us. We just act like it's cool, like it's okay, like it's nothing wrong. Because at some level, amongst, and I use this, not speaking of everyone, but I'm talking about as a collective, that we don't respect ourselves. because if we did, there's no way we would even refer to each other in such degrading terms. You got women, calling each other bees like it's a great thing. When I was growing up, you would never do that. Women were women, not females. There's a difference. They attained the mantle of womanhood, and they wouldn't think of doing that. But now, you just see it all over the place, and it's sad. And I mean, despite people's with sense efforts, the dusty Negroes and the hood rats, they seem to be multiplying. And I really hate when I have children, if these people, because they'll reproduce like cockroaches, they'll be out there. And my children and your children will have to deal with this nonsense. But but until we can even really get to that point where we understand that, where we have elevated standard of self, till we learn to really appreciate ourselves and who we are, then we'll always continue to think that, somebody can call us stupid. Oh, we gonna turn stupid into a good thing. That's totally retarded thinking, but somehow that seems to slide or be appreciated in our community. That's one of the reasons people can get over on us. I mean, we're probably the most gullible people on the planet. We don't think. Whether it's some jack-legged preacher stealing your money, as he tells you, you should worship some blonde-haired, blue-eyed deity, but that's another story. Or whether it's these politicians, particularly as you refer to him as your president, which brings me to my next point. The big thing now is this Trayvon Martin case. And I've said on videos in the past, and it's gonna sound bad at first, but listen to where I'm going, because it's not to disparage the death of young brother Trayvon, not at all. But when something is being pushed like that, there's always an agenda, and it's always a distraction. Okay, because I keep hearing, look how it's divided even more so, so-called black people and so-called white people into these camps. You're either with Zimmerman or whatever. And as that's going on, no one, hardly anyone has even noticed that while you've been tuned in to all Trayvon Martin case all the time, they've made changes to the Voting Rights Act. And hardly anyone, there's a few people talking about it, but no one's really mentioned it. And it's like I said, when things are, it's not trivial, not at all. When things are being pushed like that, there's always an agenda, and it's usually to divert your attention. And this is, once again, a prime example of that. You don't really hear anything about it. And for those of you fools, this happened on, as you like to say, my president. It happened on his watch. Hadn't said anything about it. But some of you dummies will continue to have his picture in your house next to your God, but whatever. And again, it just goes to show we don't pay attention. And it proves my previous point that I've been saying for years, that he, like any other politician, does not, but particularly, well, no, not even particularly, but he doesn't care about the black community. Anyone who's ever done research could tell you that. Because this deal with the Voting Rights Act, it didn't happen under Bush, who you like to throw under the bus, or Bill Clinton, who some of you have almost deified, which, by the way, let me say this on the Clinton thing. Please stop calling him black. That is an insult to every black person who has ever lived. Okay? And based on what? What has he done for black people that would qualify him? What? Because he played the saxophone on the Arsenio Hall show? Because he went down to Sylvia's in Harlem? Is he had an office down there? Is that all it takes? I'm still trying to figure this one out. Because I don't understand why some people in our community seem to say this like it's funny. I find it incredibly insulting and disrespectful to even think about that. When, again, because I know you don't do your research on anything. He's one of the biggest criminals ever to occupy 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Do your homework. Look up the Mena Airport. What went on out there? Look that up and see how it comes back to Mr. Clinton. Look up Whitewater. Look up Vince Foster. Look up Ron Brown. And I could keep going. But that's, again, you have put this man on this pedestal. But I just had a question about that. But getting back to my point is that this is happening like many other things. And I said this in the election, the first term, that nothing is